Hello! Are you a college student that recently graduated and you're looking for your next job opportunity, but you haven't figured out on how to get a call for an interview yet? Well, today I'm going to help you. I'm going to explain the top 6 tips to get you the job that you're looking for. My name is Dante Williams. I am the CEO and founder of Vent LLC. A Better You starts today. And today I'm going to be explaining the top 6 tips to get you the job that you're looking for. And the reason I'm doing this for free is that for me, I struggled finding a job when I was recently graduated high school and even during college as well. You know, no one explained to me the nuances of the interview process or the nuances of what should go on a resume. How does a resume look? What does the employer want to see on your resume? So I did not know what that was. I applied for many jobs, did not get a call back for those jobs. I'm sure some of you can attest to that. And I was frustrated, and I felt this sense of low self-efficacy and self-worth because I wasn't getting a call back. I was completely frustrated. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are like that or have been like that or know someone that's like that, today I'm going to debunk a lot of things to help you get that job that you're looking for. So tip number 1, it sounds very simple, but it is very important. Your resume has to be legible. And what do I mean by that? I would recommend using Times New Roman or Calibri font, right? I would not use the fancy fonts. I would not use fonts that are not necessarily well known. I would avoid those as much as possible. Here's why. We don't know on the other end of the application, we call it ATS system in the business, applicant tracking system. We don't know what it looks like when they download your application. We want no errors on our part or on their part. So we want to make it where it's simple to read, easy to understand, and where folks can get the information very quickly, okay? That's tip number 1. So I would recommend using Calibri font on your resume, okay? Second tip, this might sound interesting or it might sound kind of obvious depending on where you're at, but you would be amazed. I've seen thousands of resumes, and I must tell you I've seen great resumes, and I've also seen some lacking resumes that needed some improvement. But either way, between these two extremes, the number one thing that I've also noticed is the fact that they're missing employment dates or an explanation to employment, right? Let's just say, for instance, you were a stay-at-home mom, you graduated with a 4-year degree, and you're looking to get back into the workforce, okay? Your kid might be older, and now you're looking to get back in the job market. Great, I'm excited. Now, we'll need an explanation, though, on the resume as to what you were doing. For example, let's say today is July 2019, and you're going to apply for another job next month in August of 2019. You'll want to explain from month to month, no months missing, from month to month, what exactly you were doing, right? Were you in school, okay? Were you a stay-at-home mom? You want to have an explanation as to that. And if you explain very thoroughly, you know, I was laid off, be honest about why you were laid off, you know, nothing wrong with that. Be honest and upfront. Sometimes being laid off is a natural part of the workforce, right? Nothing that you did wrong, it just is what it is on the company's behalf. But make sure you talk about that, list it out and explain it. The third tip on the resume is you want to make sure that you talk about the pre-qualifications, okay? You literally take the job description and within the first sentence, you list the pre-qualifications, right? So, for example, most pre-qualifications for jobs as of now, which is this next part I'm about to mention, I'm seeing a change in this pre-qualification, but education, for example, it used to be in times past and currently right now, education was a big deal. So you make sure you list the educational requirement. If the job requires a bachelor's degree, you list the bachelor's degree, okay? Don't miss out on that. Why? Because they'll skip completely over you. You have on average of 4 to 6 seconds, literally 4 to 6 seconds to explain on this piece of paper why you were qualified for the job. It's 4 to 6 seconds. So you must list on the top part of the resume the educational requirement or the job description that you've done before or job title that you've done before that makes you qualified for the occupation that you're going into. That makes sense. Tip number 4, list your accomplishments, not the tasks that you've done. Now, It has changed entirely from resumes. I was talking to some folks who have been in the workforce for quite some time, and I looked at their resume, and their resume spoke to tasks that they did. Right? They were, different directors. They might have been a production manager, etc. But they listed tasks of responsibility. That's fine. However, you are an awesome applicant. We want to hear, what exactly did you accomplish, right? Everybody has tasks in our jobs. Everyone does. But we want to know specifically what makes you unique and what sets you apart, and more so, what did you do? What did you accomplish, right? An example of that is, let's say you worked in a company, you were able to reduce expenditures in the company from, let's just say, $10 million budget. You then reduced the spending by 15 to 10%. Great, that's amazing. Now, talk about that. Talk about the money you've saved. Talk about the magnitude of your managerial experiences. Talk about the nuanced, creative things that you've done in the company. Now, this can be from a CEO perspective. Now, this could be to a janitor perspective. Entry level to C-suite individuals. It's constantly an important factor to list, okay? What did you accomplish? What benefit did you bring to the organization? Because the interviewer or screener is going to be thinking, what benefit is this person going to bring to me? Okay? Tip number 5. Please, 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 please list your references. Okay? Now, there's, an argument amongst the professionals. Should you put the references on the resume, or should you wait upon their request? Okay, I would say that it's up to you and what you feel comfortable with. I think that, if I have a preference, that means nothing if you don't feel comfortable with it, right? Do what's comfortable for you. Just know that if you list your references, make sure you have the title, the correct spelling of the name, the easiest number and email for them to reach those individuals. And most importantly, like I said, I've seen thousands of resumes, been a part of hundreds of interview panels, okay? Tell your references in advance that you need them. Call them up on the phone, send them an email saying, hey, FYI, so-and-so, previous supervisor, whomever, I would like to use you for a reference. Is that okay? Right? They should be able to respond back if you know them, if they could speak to your work that you've done. Oh, yep, absolutely. When do you need it? Give them kind of a time frame. Let them know the company. Let them know the position you're applying for. All those things. Give them a heads up, man. There's nothing worse than someone using you as a reference. A, they don't ask, and 2, you're not prepared, right? So when you pick up the phone, you go, what employee is that? Not a good look, guys. Not a good look, gals. So make sure that you're listing those references and letting them know in advance, hey, I'm going to use you as a reference. Is that okay? These are the things that are, like I said, these are tips. These are things that really can deter a person from getting an interview at a job that they're really wanting. My last tip for you all, tip number 6, is this: not listing a supervisor as a reference, okay? This is like an HR red flag, because we want to know, what does the person who is doing your evaluation and monitoring your work and your task think about your work that you've done, okay? That's very important. Sometimes I've seen a lot of people apply for jobs and they fail to put on any type of administration or supervisor reference at all. That makes me concerned as a hiring manager. Now, I don't know the nature of why that you're not listing them as a reference, okay? I don't know. Sometimes managers are terrible. And most times people leave a job because their manager, right? I totally get it, and I totally understand and empathize with that. However, we need to make sure that we have people in our Rolodex that we can refer to that can speak to our work, okay? Maybe it's not necessarily your direct supervisor, but it's a supervisor who is above your supervisor that would use you as a reference, that you could use as a reference, okay? Maybe it's that. Maybe it's a reference that you had a couple jobs ago, okay? Nothing wrong with that, okay? But you need to make sure that you have, and I must say this, you need to make sure that you have some sort of supervisory reference that you can call on that can speak highly and positively about you and who you are. And I must say, building relationships is one of the most basic things in life, okay? This we know. It's very important that we build, maintain, and establish healthy relationships, not just in work, okay? This goes outside of the workforce, just in life in general, okay? Because you may very well need someone's assistance to find the next opportunity. And this is a prime example of that. You must have someone that you can call up, email, etc., that can speak to you and your work in a positive manner, okay? Please list that. It's one of the biggest red flags for an applicant that's applying for the job, because at the end of the day, you know, the unfortunate part about the whole American interview resume process is that it's very biased and subjective, okay? Let's not get it twisted, because we don't know everything about you, okay? So these are things that deter a person. You know, the resume is an initial first screening. Especially when you're first applying, like I said, you got a couple seconds, literally, to apply or to show your best self on this piece of paper. And we want to leave no confusion about your competency and what makes you great and what makes you able to get that next career and job opportunity. So those are the top 6 tips for landing your next big job. If you have any questions at all, feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email. We would love to stay in touch and stay in contact with you. And first and foremost, we want to make sure that you find the thing that you are most passionate about, and we want to assist you in this journey. You have a great day, and thank you so much.